Hey guys, welcome back. Got another Path of Exile video for you. So this one's a bit interesting actually, because I've been looking around for some builds because the last season ended and I had some characters that were reset, where all of your talents get reset and such. Well, I wanted to experiment with some builds since now I have some currency because of all those events I've done, all the past seasons or whatever. So this is another totem build because I figured, why not? I got another totem build too that I'll probably do a video on. Stormburst totems, you know. But this one it's a newer build because Ice Spear of Splitting is new. So it's pretty much Ice Spear, but when it hits a target, it splits into like, I think 3 projectiles or something. Splits towards 6 targets. So I mean, it kind of just varies. And because it's kind of a piercing skill, I need Pierce in my build, but I don't have a 6 link, so I can't do that. But anyways, for the build, we're using a dagger because we need the crit because Ice Spear sucks ass. And I don't have 100% crit, obviously, because I didn't put a lot of money in this build. I just wanted to try it, so we don't even have 100% crit. I mean, just in here, it goes to like 60 something, but in the POB, I have no idea. I haven't even checked yet. I don't really care, honestly. So anyways, we got a dagger. We got 30% crit. And then we got the +1 to cold, which took a while to roll. I think it took like 10 or 12 essences to roll that. It was quite annoying. We got 59 spell damage, which is not too bad. I mean, out of 66, 59, that's not too bad. We got added cold, increased crit chance, and then I applied crit multi, so it's not too bad of a weapon for 12 fucking essence. And then we're using the gloves because they give you nice stats, and I also got this because of my cast on crit Ice Spear build, so pretty useful. Got an okay Abyss belt. I'm only using it because I'm supposed to use it for the build because of the sockets, because of totems, but also it's got really nice res. Armor, it's got strength. Don't even care about the strength, honestly, because if I like take it off, it doesn't matter. And then we got this weird fucking helmet, which I bought this helmet because you need it for the build, at least for the starter version of this build. I bought it and I was like, why the fuck do I need this helmet? But like if you read it, you gain 14% of maximum mana as extra maximum energy shield. Enemies cannot leech mana, which is super, super useful because this build does consume a lot of mana. Not because of your skills, but because of the buff, which I'll get into. 12% of damage taken, recouped as mana. Cannot leech mana. So that's really useful because you go through a lot of mana, like I said. We're using just a basic shitty necklace with some mana regen. I specifically rolled mana regen because of the mana that we go through. Other than that, it's pretty shit. I mean, it's got crit multi, which is okay. Not the greatest. And then we got this ring because it gives stats. The build relies on stats. And then we have rarity and elemental resistances. So it's pretty good. And then we got just a basic absolute trash ring. But I need it because of the dex. So I purposely rolled dex just so I can get it. And we are res capped by quite a bit, but the fire is a bit low, which isn't a big deal. I could probably just roll dex and try to get a fire on here instead of lightning. And then I just bought the shield because I have the shield on the cast on crit Ice Spear build, but it's corrupted, and I wanted one that wasn't corrupted, so if I wanted to I could just roll the stats or whatever. So this is what it is. 23 dex. I tried to get one that was like 30, but I didn't want to spend like 60 chaos. I'd rather spend like 30. Didn't want to spend a lot of money on it. And then we got a pair of boots, which I've already had in my inventory from previous builds. It came with 48 lightning res as a fracture, which is pretty fucking insane actually. And then I just rolled it with energy shield because the build kind of relies on energy shield, as you can see. And I also used some essence. What do you want to call those fucking things? These things. The Eldritch things. I used those back in the day to roll this. So it doesn't have a lot of good stuff. It's got life regen because I think I used it on my RF build before. So that's kind of why it's got that. And then to the chest piece. which this chess piece is very expensive, even off season, because this is standard mode. This chess piece is fucking 8 divines for a 6 link. And, you know, we got 15. We got 15. So I just kept it at 5. I might just try to roll 6 myself. And also, this is my 3rd chess piece, by the way. I had 3 of these, and this one was the best. 61 of 70 intelligence, which is not bad. 92 of 100 max mana, which is pretty decent, actually. My previous ones were like freaking 70 max mana, 60 max mana, 50 something intellect. They're pretty shit. So this is the best one. Anyways, this is the build. We're using 2 rare legendary potions, whatever you want to call them. So 40% more damage with Consecrated Ground, which increases damage taken to enemies if they're within the circle. And because we're playing this totem build, the circle is fucking humongous. And then we're using this, increased quantity of items found, rarity of items found, increased light radius, and elemental resistances by 50, which is humongous, makes us really tanky. And then just crit and run speed. Also, I'm using this wand because I was testing out... Power Siphon. So, anyways. As far as the build, we are 87. And this is what we're looking at for the build so far. We got a lot of crit. Got the totems. We went into these totems instead of these totems. So I'm just following the build. And this is all crit multi, and these are totem placements. So that's why I went into there. Got some health, got some mana regen, power charges, block spells, got crit multi, mana reservations, chaos damage doesn't bypass shield, which is super nice. Energy shield mana, reduced mana cost. Increased attributes, like I said. Attributes are huge for this build. More intellect, because we need the mana. Enemies permanently take 5% increased damage for each second each second they've been frozen, which they get frozen kind of quite often. I wouldn't say it's a lot, but, you know. And then we got increased damage on low life, which we are low life. And then we got the basic elemental on life and shit like that, mana. Mana surge. Got the mana. This is for the buff that I was telling you guys about. It sucks up like a fuck ton of mana, as you'll see. And as far as the tree, I don't have my 4th ascendancy, but I'm pretty sure my 4th ascendancy we go into here, which grants arcane spell damage, which buffs us even more with more mana regen. So this is where we'll go next. But yeah, so far this is what we're looking at. And like I said, we're capped at resistances besides chaos, but I don't really care about it. Chance to block 22, nothing crazy. Energy shield regen is 95, which is really low. But as far as the skills though, it's a bit weird. So we got Arcanist Brand to apply Bone Chill and Creeping Frost, just to slow the enemies down, but also to take more damage. And we got Clarity for mana regen, Arrogance, and Siphon. Arrogance, I don't know why I'm using it. I think these are supposed to be like this. Just more health regen, whatever. Grace, Eternal Blessing, Frostbite, and then we got Zeolatry, Discipline. This is a Vol Discipline, but it doesn't actually mean it needs to be, you know, it doesn't have to be Vol. And then we got Purity of Elements, Flame Dash, Faster Casting, Automatron, because of Arcane Cloak, which is the buff. And as far as the build, the actual like main skills, Spell Totem, increased crit chance. We're supposed to have crit chance, crit damage, and pierce or something. I don't fucking remember. There's supposed to be some setup. Multi-totem, added cold damage, and ice spear of splitting. And we already got a tier 6. Probably gonna die or come close to it because the build's like, I mean, look at this, level 15. You know, like we're not. The build's not even like anywhere near ready for red maps. Like I just threw the build together and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. Just wanted to test out some builds. Dude, this is like one of my favorite maps too. I mean, look at the health and stuff we got going on here. But as you can see, my mana is pretty insane. But I just wanted to show you guys like some builds you can potentially have fun with. Nice. I guess this way. But yeah, it's a fun build though. It's kind of like Ice Spear, but like different. Like it plays pretty much like Freezing Pulse Totems, just with a shitload of Ice Spears. And there's a jewel that I don't have that increases the totem projectiles by 2, which is huge. Like it would for any like cast on crit Ice Spear. Bleed! Stop moving! Those bleeds, man. Like some of the projectiles like bounce off the walls and ricochet back, which like look at that, it's like ricochet off the walls. It's like random that they ricochet, it's crazy. I've also tried the build with like returning projectiles, it's actually pretty funny. I don't even think I have it on me, no I don't. But it works really well though, returning projectiles definitely works. Especially in a place like this, oh my god. Also, I'm leveling a new Cold because I got a 20% quality one, so leveling that. It's always a fucking bleed in this damn game, dude. It's annoying. What was that? This map is so weird, dude. Oh, past the chest. That's pretty much it. Didn't even see a boss room. I probably missed it, but you get the point, you know, that's what the build is. It's not a bad build. Like it's pretty decent. I mean, you're fairly tanky because of the energy shield, but the bleed is like the bleed is what kills the cast on crit build and this build. And like, huh. That's like the #1 killer for this build. Because you don't have a potion, so... I mean, you could have a potion, honestly, but like... To get rid of the bleed, you'd probably have to get a jewel that cannot have corrupted blood on you, which is a very, very, very expensive jewel because Cast on Crit has it. But anyways, build's pretty good. It's not too bad. I never really like put a lot of money into this build, and not all my gems are really like high levels. But I do feel like the build doesn't have a lot of damage because, as you saw, that was only a tier 6, okay? And my character was kind of struggling, like I wasn't killing shit fast enough. So the build, at least for this build that I use, you know, it doesn't have a lot of damage. And this build is exactly almost the same as the guy that I followed, the build guide I followed. It's pretty much exactly the same except for the boots. And yeah, it's pretty much almost the same. It's a good starter build, but you can't go past yellow maps. Like, you're stuck in like probably like maybe T6, T8. I don't think you can really go much further because it's too much. Like, it takes too long to kill shit. I mean, unless you have 6 links with Pierce, you might kill shit faster. But I don't know. The projectiles are just too slow. They don't really speed up until you actually hit an enemy with the projectile, which is very annoying in my opinion. But other than that, it's a pretty cool build. It's not too bad.